Hey
Hey guys,
guys!
I'm Issa,
And I'm Sam.
and welcome back to Likewise Pod.
It's about whatever we want.
I literally had so much fun last week with my interview, and I'm really excited for Sam's. Um, and it's gonna be so much fun because I feel like a lot of her answers I may or may not know, and you guys may or may not know.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt interviewing Issa, and it was so cool too, especially because we did it right after she decided to change her major, so I kind of got to hear like all about that for like the first time. So it's kind of fun to like learn more about each other while trying to tell you guys more about ourselves.
Sam, do you want to get us started with roses and thorns of the week?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start with my thorn, um, which is that my retainer broke even more this weekend. We went on another girls trip, which hint that might be my rose, but we we got to the beach and like only after like an hour of being there, I bit an ice cube and broke my retainer more, and it hurt so bad, and I could barely like eat and drink all weekend. It just scratched up my tongue so bad. And then I called my orthodontist yesterday morning to see if I could go in and get it fixed, and they didn't have any openings until next Monday. So I made my mom just cut off the end of it with a nail clipper.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
we hurt no longer. But like I said, my rose is that we went on another girls trip. It was so fun. We just went and hung out with Riley again for 4th of July. Went to the beach. It was such a good time. And I just like really loved being able to road trip with Nat and Issa. That was like the best part of it for me.
I literally love driving with you. It's so much fun. I mean, I like road tripping with friends. It's so much fun. But yeah, like those are my roses and thorns too. Well, I mean, not the whole retainer thing, but so I'll start with my thorn. Like the weekend, it just really tired me out, and it was really hard doing anything and finding motivation because really all I wanted to do was sleep. And I know I say that a lot, that, oh, I'm so tired, but literally all I wanted to do was sleep. I was so exhausted. Like, I probably got 13 hours of sleep in a 72-hour period. I was just dead tired. But
Mm-hmm.
when I finally did decide to get up yesterday, I had a really productive day, and I worked on a project and filmed a video, which should hopefully be out soon. And so that's another, I guess that's like part of my rose. And also just like the weekend in Cooley, hanging out with you and Riley and Nat. It was just really fun getting to know some of Riley's friends and just hanging out all together again.
It was literally so fun. Like I don't know even how else to describe it, but I feel you on the tired thing. I slept for like 13 hours Monday night. Like I went to bed at
Yeah.
like 9 and I didn't get up until like 10 yesterday, and that kind of made me feel really lazy, but it was much needed because like none of us really got the sleep we needed.
Yeah, no, literally on Monday when we got back, I just wanted to go sleep so bad, and but I couldn't because you and Nat were still at my house, like waiting and stuff. I was like, okay, it's fine, I'll just power through. And there was like a little bit where I wasn't like super tired, but then at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I went to bed. I took a 2 hour nap and then woke up at like 9, went out for like an hour or two, and then I went right back to bed and woke up like 12 hours later.
Yeah, I wanted to take a nap on the ferry because I had like 30 minutes to just sit there in my car and not do anything. But I like physically couldn't. I tried so hard and like my body just didn't want to. And I think it's because of just like the anxiety of like driving on the ferry. Like my body was like, no, you're not going to nap right here. Also, I was scared of people looking at me. So,
Oh my gosh. If I could nap on a ferry, I so would, but I have to sleep laying down. I can rarely ever sleep sitting up. Like,
yeah, I'm not
rarely.
a napper. So, like, sitting up would probably make it 10 times harder because I usually can't nap anyways unless I'm like so tired.
Oh my gosh, I love naps. So I guess we should get right into your interview. Oh, I'm so excited.
Me too.
Okay, so I guess we'll just hop right into the questions for you, Sam. What's a secret or not super well-known passion of yours?
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited for this question because I kind of finally started opening about this secret activity of mine with some of my friends, and Issa was actually like the first person I exposed myself to. But I really, really like songwriting, and I think it's because I grew up playing piano, so it's always kind of been easy for me to just like sit down, play around with some chords, and then just like writing lyrics is like super fun for me. Just because like it's really easy to just like express myself with words. I am a word girl, and this is so funny because Issa kind of talked about how much she likes to just like put things into words too in her interview, but I like love just writing poems and songs, and like not even with the intention of other people like reading or like seeing them, or like even just papers. I love to write a good argumentative paper, because I just feel like I love to express myself with words. Just anything I can put, not anything I can put, anything I can do to put my thoughts onto paper. So I think when I told Issa about that, she was just like, what the heck? I did not know that about you. And then I told a couple more people after that. But it's definitely something I want to get into more. I mean, I'm not like the best singer, but you don't have to be a good singer to be a songwriter. You just gotta know a good singer.
Okay, so I guess like a good question right after that is, just because it's not like super well known, is like how long would you say it takes for someone to really get to know you? Like, who is Sam, like deep down?
I love that question when I saw that, and I literally was just talking to someone about this literally last night. But I am such an open book, and I love to overshare. And I'm quite the storyteller, and I like to provide a lot of extra unnecessary context when I tell stories. So I feel like people get to know me pretty fast. And I just love deep questions, getting deep with people. So I just really feel like it doesn't take a whole lot to necessarily like figure me out. I mean, I definitely think there is things that I like keep in, because I like to keep to myself a lot. Sometimes I'm like really contradicting myself. But I share a lot. And so I think pretty quick people kind of get a feel for who I am, and like a lot of things about me. And I think it's because I like to make people comfortable, and I want people to get to know me really fast. Like, I don't want them to just like think of me as a stranger or anything. I just like instantly kind of want to like make friends and be deep. I just love it.
No, I totally get you on that, because I'm the same way. Like, I don't consider myself to have a lot of secrets, and off the top of my head I cannot think of any, because I feel like I'm just such an open book, and everyone just knows everything about me, because I share I definitely share way too much information about myself that no normal person would ever care to hear.
No, me too. Like, literally, just like in your interview episode, my thorn was me having horrible cramps. Like, there's no, I didn't have to do that, but like, I'm just so comfortable. Like, I feel like, especially with like things that I guess would be more so thought of as like taboo topics or something, I just like really don't care, and I'm just so comfortable sharing like literally everything.
No, me too.
Yeah, I think that helps.
Okay, so I think that's a really admirable trait, is just being really open and honest, and being able to make other people comfortable just by, I guess, like exposing yourself, because we both know we both do this. But what do you admire most in others?
I don't know. Well, actually I do know. But I think about this all the time. I love when people are like super driven and ambitious, so I really like to hear about their crazy long-term dreams and goals, and just hearing about what they want to achieve, which is kind of like, I guess, why that's a lot of what my questions for you were. They're kind of like that, because I just love it. One, it makes me feel super motivated, and two, it really shows that they have that drive in them and that they are motivated. And when people talk about what their passions are, they always kind of seem really genuine. It just shows their genuinity, and it's just very real. And I think it's really admirable to like be able to talk about like your life dreams with someone, And when other people open up about their dreams to me, it just makes me feel like they trust me with knowing what they want to do, like what their dreams are. And I just think it's so like attractive. I don't know. I guess like when people just like are ambitious.
No, I think it's so funny that you brought up the fact that you love hearing about people's like hopes and dreams and like goals for life, and that's why you asked me a lot of the questions that you asked me. And because I love hearing people just talk about things that they love doing and are passionate about, and like that's why all of my questions revolve around that. And I was like, wow, that's so funny.
Yeah, I definitely think we like take the things that we like, the traits we like to see brought out in other people. That's kind of like how we interact with people, because we like to see them just like talk about
we
that
like
kind
dig
of stuff.
it out of people. But so you mentioned ambition and that you find that like very attractive in others and that you just admire that. What would you say is something that you're working on for yourself, like to better yourself, or something you struggle with, I guess?
I literally could think of so many things for this one. But to pick one thing, oh my gosh, I think so many people can relate to this, but I go back and forth all the time of feeling super, super body positive and like confident in my appearance, and then having days where I feel like horrible. And it's definitely gotten better within the last like 6 months, because I've worked really, really hard on just like my mindset and on like loving and appreciating my body. And my like number one tip, and I think I've like briefly mentioned this before, but what really helped me is that I just like to remind myself, like, I'm literally about to turn 20. I am an adult woman, and this is my adult body, and like I have to be okay with the fact that I'm not as skinny as I was when I was like 15, because I was like a literal child then, and I was like an athlete for like 40 hours a week then, so it made sense. And like I'm just like grown, and I think that really helps with trying to like, I don't know, have that self-respect and like love your body and your appearance, is just like realizing like, oh, like I think about it, like I really want to like have kids. This is the body that's going to bring my kids into the world. Like God made me this way. This is the body that I'm meant to have. Like, yes, I think it is so good to like work really hard on like being healthy and feeling like your best self, and like I want to get back on my fitness grind, but I think we kind of have to remember like it's so important to just have that confidence in yourself, and it is definitely okay to have the days where you feel horrible about yourself, but that is definitely something I think I'm always going to struggle with, and always going to be working on.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you on like all of those points, because growing up like playing soccer my whole life, I was generally, I would say generally, not always, generally in pretty good shape. Like I by no means would ever say that I was ever in soccer shape, but I would say that I was in shape. And so getting out of that routine of actually being really super physically active every week, and then coming to college and not, it's just so much harder like seeing like the number on the scale go up, because at least when I was playing soccer, like the numbers meant muscle, but now like the numbers don't mean muscle anymore. And so it's hard coming to terms to, but then it's also, I have to think about, okay, I got to be disciplined, I have to go work out, I have to eat healthy, I have to do what I need to do to make myself feel good.
And I definitely think that like overall, like for me, like it's so important that like whatever I'm doing, I just feel good about it, because like if I want to be super healthy and eat super healthy, I guess, and be really disciplined, great, as long as I'm like happy with doing that, because like if I'm just like really unhappy and like really just focused on just trying to be fit, then like I don't even care. Like I'd rather just like be way more like mentally happy than like physically just happy with how I look. So I think it's like a really good balance of trying to figure out like what you can do to make yourself I don't know, equally happy in both, because it's really important to make sure that you're happy and healthy physically and mentally.
Yeah, I think it's really important, and a lot of people I feel like get lost in totally compromising one way or the other, like being, oh, I just want to be happy, or oh, I just want to be whatever else, you know, like, oh, I want to be successful in my career, oh, I want to be super healthy, I want to be super fit, you know. It's, I feel like people compromise just 100% on one end of the scale or the other. And I think it's really good that you acknowledge that, like, yeah, you do want to be happy, but you also, doing these other things are going to make you happy as well, and you just have to find that balance of what's going to be most beneficial to you. And so I guess in that, like, what is your biggest goal in life? Like, what do you want to achieve?
So many things. Mine's really similar to yours, like I was saying when I was interviewing you, but I have always just wanted to be my own boss and kind of just create my own career, trailblaze my own path. So definitely doing that is my biggest goal. But I've always just like had this like really like, I don't know, it's a very long-term goal of just like being happy with my life decisions. And I like look forward to the day that I settle down and live a happy life with like my future family. So like my spouse and like having kids and just like being in a home that I love and worked so hard for. Just like seeing that as a long-term goal just seems so like, that would just be so fulfilling. But also just more on the end of being my own boss and having a career. Like, I would love to have my own company. This is so funny. We're like literally the same person when it comes to this. But
Yeah.
I would love to like have my own company, do my own thing, and just like have like people look up to me like in the same way that I look up to my favorite influencers and creators. Just like being that person for someone else as like they were to me. That just is so cool.
So, who would you say is your biggest inspiration, whether it be life in general or in like content creating, like YouTube or podcasting or whatever? Like, just your biggest inspiration.
Well, when it comes to just like life stuff, definitely my mom. I know that's so cliche, but she is so driven and always been so supportive and has always encouraged me to go after what I want. And she like moved across the country from Michigan to Washington after a few years of teaching in Michigan, and she like came out here, and that's just like so bold to do such a big move and like only having one family member here. So that just like inspires me to go after what I want, even if it is scary.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
And I feel like that's like more with like life stuff. Like she inspires me to like be a good like parent in the future, stuff like that. But I think when it comes to content, I watch a lot of YouTubers who are a lot older than me just because I started watching them when they were like my age, when I was like 12. So like Miss Remy Ashton and Alicia Marie. I love their podcast, Pretty Basic. If you've never listened to it, you should. And I just like love their videos. They both mainly do just like a lot of vlogs, and then their main channel videos, I guess you'd call them, are just like way more produced, which it's interesting because that's kind of like not really like the type of content. Not that I don't want to make it. Like I love vlogs and like the stuff that they do, but it's just so cool. Like they're both just so driven, and they have like a very steady like niche. Like they have their thing that they do and they're good at it. And obviously like I've been watching them for like 8 years, so I think to be able to like think that I could be that person to other people. I know I was literally just talking about this, that like I don't know, like a 12-year-old girl could like stumble upon my YouTube channel and like watch me grow and watch me become successful and then look up to me like I always did with Remy. Like that would be literally so cool.
I love that. Just because I feel like I don't know, maybe we don't talk about it a lot and it's just in my imagination. Maybe we don't even talk about it at all. But I feel like we have talked about us kind of just wanting to be an inspiration. I mean, we kind of talked about with Gemma a little bit about how we're not necessarily doing it to be an inspiration to a new generation, but the fact that we're doing it, we can. And like, we probably are. I think that's just so good.
Yeah, I definitely, because I don't even think about that when I'm like making my videos. Like I make videos that like I'm interested in watching, so it's definitely stuff that I want people my age to like and find. I just like, I randomly think about how like all these YouTubers that I started watching when I was in like middle school and still watch now, I watched them grow up, and I think that's like super cool to think that someone else would do that with me.
Yeah, so I know you touched it a little bit, but what really like got you into being a content creator? Like whether it's podcast or YouTube, like what made you really want to pursue it like more than just a hobby?
I think definitely seeing all my favorite creators turning YouTube into a job, I was just like, oh, that's super cool that they can do that. And I think from a young age I understood what their job as a content creator like entailed, so I always kind of knew how AdSense worked and knew how YouTube worked and like the algorithm and things like this. And just knowing that I would love to spend all of my days working on it is because it is obviously just a hobby for me right now, but like if I were to be in a position where I could put everything into it all the time, that just is so appealing to me. But honestly, it was mainly because I used to make so many videos with my best friends ever since I could remember, so it's just always been something I loved. And editing, I literally love editing my videos. It is so fun and therapeutic to me. I don't want to say this because I don't know, but like I will. But I feel like no matter how successful I am, I would not want to hire somebody else to edit my content because I love doing it. And I think that's such a big part of being a content creator is like the editing and just like the fact that like you are making a video and it's like your video. So I don't know. I've always thought it was interesting that there are some people who are huge and get so much money and views on YouTube who have never edited a video in their life. Like some of these TikTokers just have always, from the start of wanting to make YouTube videos, have had an editor. And that's fine, but YouTube has changed so much since the way it was in like 2009. To me, that was part of being a YouTuber, is that you are like so self-made and making your own content. That was kind of a little tangent.
I thought about that a lot too, and how, I mean, I always only ever pretend to know what I'm doing, like when it comes to like YouTube and editing the podcast and stuff. Like literally, I have so many questions, so I just Google it, and I've watched like first part of it video. I'm like, oh, that's good enough, and then I realized that my question wasn't even answered, and so I'll have to go back to the video. But there's just something about editing your own stuff that, I don't know, to me it just makes it seem more, I don't want to say genuine because it takes the genuinity out of like really creative people and really great YouTubers who like come up with all their ideas, you know? But I don't know, it just seems more, I guess, down to earth and just kind of more grounded to me if people do edit their own things. And so I'm kind of with you there. Like, I don't think I would ever hire an editor unless I could be part of the editing process still, you know?
Yeah. Like, I understand some people who, like, they have, like, one of their friends or someone else, or they hire an editor to mainly just do, like, their daily vlogs or, like, their rough cut or things like that. I get it. Like, sometimes maybe these people are super, super busy. But me thinking now, if I wasn't in school and didn't have, like, another job, if YouTube was my only job, and I had every day, all the time, to work on it, I could totally manage putting out 3 videos a week and editing them and filming them all without an editor. Like, I could totally do that. Like, yes, obviously, I'd want to probably get into doing more detailed, cool editing, and maybe there are things that I don't know how to do, but I can always learn how to do it. And, I mean, I think that's part of the thing of, like, people always would say, like, oh, influencers, yeah, like, YouTubers, like, they have easy money, like, just they're living off the AdSense, they have all this money, like, they don't have talent, all that stuff. And to me, I would always get so defensive over it when I was younger, because I'm like, no, like, these people, like, they can edit, they can do all this stuff, and that's not true anymore, like, not for everyone. So it's just really interesting. But I definitely am someone who will always want to edit my own content, because being a content creator, well, that's part of the creating.
Yeah. So what kind of content do you really want to pursue? Like, are you creating and doing what you want, or are you working right to that, or like what's going on right now?
I want to make literally so many things, but I have so many ideas. Like, I have a fat list on my phone, but I think the biggest thing I want to do is I mainly want to do like fashion focused things, which makes sense, ties in with my major, but I really want to do like aesthetically pleasing fashion videos. There's just something about them that I love them, but I really get bored of doing the same thing. So I like to be really inventive with what I create, which I think I'm slowly starting to get where I want to be at with that, and the content I'm making. But I feel like when I like move into like an apartment, I'll feel like I can like fully make the content I want without anything getting in the way, because I'll have my own like creative space. I feel like I have a ways to go before I'm like really there, but I think even just like with more time, I think I'll get more of a clear vision of what I want to do. But I mainly just like want to do like whatever I think is really cool. Like I'll get an idea and think it's the coolest thing in the world. Like when I did my dressing myself like Instagram starter packs, that was literally so fun for me. I thought that was so like
I love that
inventive,
one.
and I just thought it was funny, so I was like, I want to do that. Even if I wasn't making it a video, I would do it. So stuff like that.
No, I loved that video so much. Like you're dressing yourself like Instagram starter packs. Like I mentioned in my interview, I honestly think you're one of the most creative people I know, and because I've never seen that before. I mean, maybe there are thousands of videos like that, and that's why you did it, but I've never seen it before. And I just thought that was so creative and it's just very you. And I really liked it a lot. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I definitely think I feel like they always say it's super important to like have a niche and like have like your thing that you do on YouTube and like what kind of content you make. And I just like really don't want to like pick something and stick with it, because there's just so many different things I want to do, which is cool because then I could like try a bunch of things, which would be fun. But it's like hard hearing that you can't expect to like grow unless you pick something, because I'm like, well, I don't want to. But I think anything I do, as long as it's something that like I truly want to do, and if like people can tell that like I like it and I like doing it, then that's cool with me.
Yeah. So what's it like coming up with ideas for YouTube versus for the podcast? Would you say like one is easier, one is more fun, or like what's that like for you?
I feel like for me, it's so much easier to come up with ideas for YouTube. And part of me thinks it's because I've watched so much YouTube for like years. So I've seen a lot of video ideas, I guess, but also there's just so much content all the time, new, fresh, literally every day on YouTube that you can like take and make your own. Just like bounce ideas off of. For the pod, I think it's harder because I always want to come up with something new, and I never want to like feel like we're being repetitive with our topics, which like to an extent is fine, but I don't like feeling like I'm like doing the same thing. So I think that's why I have an easier time with YouTube. Like I have, like I said, a whole page of like notes on my phone for YouTube video ideas, and it's just I'm not there yet with the pod. Like, and I think it's because it's still so fresh. And I definitely, like, I don't want it to seem like I'm copying, like, I know we talk about how much we love Call Me Candid, and how we, like, listen to them every week, all that stuff, and I never want it to seem like we're copying them, so I like to try to come up with, like, original ideas for the pod, and not, like, oh, they did an episode on this, so let's do that, which is fine, we can do that, but
yeah,
it's definitely harder. I feel like podcasting is a lot more like narrow of a thing of what you can do, especially because like YouTube, it's a video, so like you can be like doing things and they'll see it. So
yeah, no, I think it's so funny because that's a place where we differ. I just found out is because for me, like kind of like I mentioned in my interview, my videos, I like them to be more kind of like a conversation. And so with the podcast, it really is a conversation because it is two people, whereas with my videos, it's mostly just me talking at my camera. And so it's so much easier for me to come up with podcast topics than it is to come up with video ideas. However, neither is super easy for me. But I mean, I don't know. I think it just really depends on like what happens that week, because I feel like a lot of the things we talk about on the pod happen during the week and we're like, oh, we should address that, or oh, we should talk about that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, when I saw that was gonna be a question you're gonna ask me, I was like, I just know that we are opposite on this, which is good because like, I mean, it's good that you have an easier time like coming up with ideas for the pod, because I kind of lack in that sometimes. Except like when I was like, let's do a playlist of our lives, I was so excited for that.
I loved that.
I don't know, it's good that we can balance each other out with that. And especially because I'm literally so grateful for this, but like you literally do so much for the pod, and I like sometimes I'm like, dang, I hope Issa doesn't think that I don't do anything, because like you like take the reins on like editing and stuff, which is completely fine. I think I do not know how you sit through that. Like I would not enjoy it like a whole lot, so it's like good that you like doing it. But yeah, I think it's just good that we both kind of like feel like that's where we're like where we differ.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that makes us like stronger as a team.
Oh, for sure. And kind of on that note, like, do you like being on camera more or just being behind a mic? Like your preference. And this isn't necessarily to say like, oh, YouTube's better, oh, the podcasts are better, but it's just like your preference. Like, do you prefer being on video or just on the pod?
This one is honestly really hard. But oh, as much as I hate to say it, I think I would say video because I'm a really like expressive person when I talk, and I like it when people can see like my mannerisms.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that they could see that in a video. One thing that is nice is being able to pod in just like my PJs and looking like horrendous and all kinds of rough. Like I don't get dolled up and look good for the pod. But the one thing that makes this really hard is that like I do still struggle with like looking into the lens of my camera for videos and not just like looking in the viewfinder, because it's so much easier to look at a person than like into the middle of a lens. I don't know, it makes it harder to be like genuine on camera sometimes if it like feels a little uncomfy. But I love videos, so I'm gonna say video.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there, just because I am a very expressive person too. Like, my eyebrows make all my expressions, and there's just so much that you can't, that I feel like we have to make sure we're aware of, because I find myself nodding to what you're saying so much, and then I remember, oh my gosh, they can't hear me nod my head. So then I'm like, yeah, mm-hmm, ah, yeah, love that. And it's just, it's so funny to me.
It is hard to pick though, because I feel like they both have their pros and cons
Mm-hmm.
of what's easy and what's hard. But definitely like since I've been doing like videos for longer, I am a lot more comfortable with videos than just being behind the mic, because we both know how difficult it still is to start the podcast sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, so not kind of, really backing it up to, I guess, like inspirations. But do you want to be like the next so and so, or do you want to do your own stuff and create like a name, a brand for yourself?
Yeah, I truly do think about this all the time, because I would take it as like the biggest compliment in the world to be compared to another creator, like someone who like is obviously like bigger than me and who I've maybe watched for a long time, like people that I have a lot of respect for. Like that would be so cool to me. But I also really do want to see myself as like my own brand, my own person, be an individual. But because I don't really like to compare myself to others.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was saying, I don't want to be seen as like copying people, because I think that's where the like that comes in, is like once people start to compare you and your content to someone else, like they're the next blank, then people are going to start saying, oh, you're copying this person. And I actually like, okay, I was trying to think about this. I don't even know if I could think of someone that I would be labeled as like the next blank, you know, because there's creators that I really admire and have watched for a long time, and I want to make content similar to them. But I think we are still so different, and our content will never be like the same
Mm-hmm.
to the point where someone would say like, oh, she's the next this person. So I don't even know who I could think of being like that person, because like as much as I love to like relate myself to like Haley and Lily, like I'm still so different
Yeah,
from them. Like I don't love like fitness,
I know.
and like I don't have my own business yet, and I, you know, like there's
Mm-hmm.
still so much that's different, and so I don't even know who I would be the next of, which is, that's nice. But because I think about that with I have some really talented friends, and whenever I try to plug Eli's music to people, I'm always like, oh, well, if you like Coin, you'd really like Eli's music, because that's who I think it's the most similar to. And I'm always want to be like, he's the next Coin, because I see him getting like as big as them. But no, in my head I'm like, he's not the next Coin, he's the next Eli Jonathan, you know?
Yeah.
Like he is himself, he is his own person. So yeah, that one's really hard, because I honestly, if someone were to start comparing me to someone, I think it's like so cool, and I'd be like, oh my god, thanks.
No, I think about that so much too, but it's so funny because I hate being copied, and so I just thinking about like when we make it big, you know, when people know us, just thinking about like, oh, people could potentially say, oh, she could be the next Issa Wilder. I'm like, it makes me very uncomfy. I don't know. It's just something about like you said, like we are our own people, and so we're not the next this person. We are the next Sam Blocher. We are the next Issa Wilder. Like we are us, and we're doing our own things.
And it's hard too, because I feel like people jump really fast to making comparisons on like YouTube and stuff. Like right after like Emma Chamberlain had her huge like surge in fame, people like were so fast. Well, she did have a lot of people like straight up copying like everything, but like they would take the littlest things in people's like editing style or videos and be like, they're copying Emma. Because I'm like, okay, just because someone uses a Ken Burns like pan zoom in a video does not mean they're copying Emma. That is a very common iMovie editing effect. Like everyone uses it. Just so people like if someone has a huge crazy viral increase in popularity, people will go kind of crazy of being like, you're copying them, but I like to think that doesn't happen too much anymore, but it does. It really does.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going off script here, but I really liked the question you asked me. Where is it? Oh, in what ways do you think you've grown, or what are some lessons that you've learned within the last year? I really like that one. It's just a good one to end on, I feel like.
Oh my gosh, now I have to think. Ooh, that's so hard. I feel like there's been so many things. I mean, I definitely think, like what I talked about with, like, learning to, like, love, like, your body and your appearance, that was definitely, like, within this year. I worked really hard on that. And I think that was an area that I really grew in. But I think I've been a lot more, I don't want to say carefree, but I've kind of started letting go of, like, my overthinking of, like, well, all these people are going to think this about me. Because I always said I don't care about what other people think, and I really don't. But then sometimes you realize that you do. Because I always, with, like, my YouTube, was really self-conscious of, like, posting and, like, promoting it on my social media, because I was scared of, like, what all the people from, like, high school and stuff would think, because I don't know, it's hard because I'm a completely different person now than I was then, and they don't know that.
Yeah.
But I decided I needed to just kind of, like, give that up and, like, not care and do it, because obviously I really admire when people are driven and ambitious and are going after what they want. So why should I be self-conscious of, like, showing people that I'm doing that for myself? Because other people will be out there and see it, and they might actually think it's really cool. So I think I've definitely grown in that, and just kind of, like, given up on being insecure about going after the whole YouTube stuff and the podcast and posting about it, because I like it and I want to post about it, so I'm gonna post about it. So I definitely grown in that, and just being confident in my decisions, especially being tri-D-Prez. You kind of have to, like, I don't know, just be, like, really confident in your decisions, and just, like, always kind of, like, have it together and know that what you're doing, even if it's not popular, is for the best. And there's, oh my gosh, I can literally think of so many things that I feel like I've learned in this last year, which is so great. Maybe I'll do, like, a 20 things I learned before 20 video for my YouTube.
Yes,
But
do that. Please do that.
I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot recently. Like, I keep thinking, oh my god, I'm not gonna be a teen anymore. Like, wow, crazy. Like, I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna have a whole mindset shift. It's gonna be like the first birthday that I really feel different. Yeah, I could think of so many things, but which is good. I obviously like to think that I've grown a lot in the last year, but those are just the few things that I think were the most.
No, that's so cute. I'm like right there with you though on like the whole thinking about like what I'm posting, because I I know people are so annoyed with me posting about the pod all the time, or posting about literally just posting anything on my stories, like whether it's my Instagram story, my Snapchat story. Like they're probably just so annoyed with me posting on my stories. Um but then I just think I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, they don't have to look at it. I don't care. uh, but what really gets me is YouTube, like uploading my videos onto YouTube, because yes, I do want the views, but at the same time, I also like, okay, well, I'm making this video because I really want to, because I really like it. So I don't care about the views, but then I like the views just always get stuck in my head, you know? And so it gets it into my head way too much. Just, oh my gosh, what are people going to think about me after they see this? Are they going to expect more from me? Are they going to think less of me? Like, what's going through their minds? Are they going to pity me? Are they going to think I should have included them? Like, I don't know. And so that always scares me. But then I just kind of remember, okay, I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I'm not doing this to, I guess, please others.
Yeah, and I think it helps too that we have a lot of like really supportive friends
Yeah.
now. Not that my friends before weren't supportive, but like I feel like our little group is just so solid and very encouraging and supportive of each other, and especially just like everyone in the sorority too. Like I know nobody judges like me making YouTube videos, and that was definitely hard. Like just like when I was trying to do it in like high school, because nobody else did it and nobody cared about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like weird to me then, but now I feel like the vibe of my friend group is just so different and everyone's so supportive, so that's kind of helped me in being more confident in doing it because I know that they care, and that they think it's cool. So
No, I was thinking about that too. Like our little friend group is so supportive, and then my other friend group that I have just from the dorms, like they're so supportive too. But it's just they're in just in so many different ways too. Like not even in the same ways, and it's just fun being able to have so many people to lean on for so many different things, and I really love that.
yeah. That's just, I guess, another area in my life. But there's been a lot of growth this year. It's just like in my friendships. Like, I've just made so many deeper connections with people. I mean, including you. That's kind of like, I feel like it was within like this last year that like we had that, like our actual like friendship happened.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
I don't know. It's just crazy because it's like, that's kind of like all my life revolves around now is like the pod, YouTube. My friends, so it's just like weird, but yeah, I'm so grateful for like everything that's happened this year, even though it was hectic, didn't end as we expected. School year got cut short, like all that stuff. I think we all still like grew and learned a lot, especially from like having to like social distance and stay home and stuff. Like I feel like that gave us all a lot of opportunity to grow.
Oh, for sure. That was so fun. I'm really glad we did this. And
Me too.
like I again, like when I was writing these questions down, I was thinking about, I was like, what's she gonna say? I don't know. Or do I don't. And so I kind of had an idea for a few of them, but then after hearing your answers, I'm like, wow, I really know Sam really well now. And it's fun because I think it's a good time to, I mean, not only think about like what you would answer them, but also like how would I answer this. And I don't know, it's just fun. It's good to reflect on.
I know, this was so good because I feel like we were both like kind of surprised at some of the things that we had as responses to each other's questions, because it's like, yeah, like if someone were to ask me all these questions and be like, answer these for Issa, I could give pretty solid answers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not gonna lie, I could do it. But it's always so much better to just like hear the person talk about it themselves, because, you know, there's always so much more that you don't think of. And kind of, I don't know, you learn something new every time.
Honestly. And those are my favorite conversations to have, because you think you know someone so well. Because I was like, because when I was talking about like my answers, and you said that you were really surprised by a few of them, I was like, really? I feel like these are just very typical of me to answer this way. So it's really interesting that I guess I think of myself as very predictable. I mean, I've always thought myself as very predictable, but I guess I got a few things up my sleeve.
Yeah. But it's so good. And wow, I'm glad we didn't wait any longer to do this, because heck, it's episode 8 and 9. Like, we gotta get our full stories out there. And I liked that we thought about like, ooh, what does the other person like care about, you know?
Yeah.
We were very intentional about that with the questions, which I liked. But I think it went so well.
Me too.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, now I guess it's time for Likewise Songs of the Week. And my song of the week is Into My Arms by Coin. I love Coin so much. They're one of my favorite bands. But this song, I've just been jamming to it a lot this week. I don't know, I've just been driving around with it. I feel like it's a nice driving song. So, I recommend.
I love that. I almost picked a Coin song, actually, but then I didn't. So, my song of the week is Full of Myself by the band Camino. And I chose it because I like found some Enneagram playlists on Spotify. I'm a type 3, in case you've forgotten. And this is on them, and I'm just like, wow, I already love this song so much. I don't know, I just feel like with kind of like the transition from majors and just kind of doing stuff, I am like kind of stressing out because I don't know, I don't want to make a fool of myself. But, you know, we're going with it and just hoping. And I just love the song already.
Yeah, I totally forgot that you told me about how you found that Enneagram playlist. I need to find one for Type 2 now, because
there's so many for Type 2.
It's probably just sad music. Ooh,
like literally,
okay. Yay, I'm so excited.
Type 2 and Type 9 I feel like have the most. I don't know, that's just like what I've encountered the most. I already love listening to lyrics, and that's why I like songs, is because of the words. But really, like, listening to the words of each song, it's like, oh my gosh, I really am a type whatever. Like, oh, I really am a type 3. Like, I do just want to be successful. I do just want people to like me. I want to achieve stuff.
The very first song on this Type 2 playlist is Love Me by the 1975.
That's Love Me is on my playlists too.
I love that. Also, no surprise, Fix You by Coldplay is on here.
And it's so nice because it's a really great way to get to know new artists, or like artists that I just don't listen to a lot, because I'm like, wow, I've never heard of like half of these. But
that's so cool. I'm so glad you like thought to do that. I don't know what prompted you to like look it up on Spotify, but
I think I saw something on Instagram. It's like, oh, like your like worship playlist based on your Enneagram type, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. I should look up like Enneagram playlists. And so I did.
Oh wait, I know another high for both of us is that Likewise is now on Apple Podcasts.
Yes!
What the heck?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that.
People can like leave us reviews if in Apple Podcasts, and that can help us get discovered, and more people will find Likewise. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, so make sure to rate us and leave a review. That's so funny. Yes. That sounds so weird saying, like, rate us and leave a review. Tell your friends about us. Tell your friends to rate us and leave a review. Anyways, those were our songs of the week. And some extra bonus content.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, I literally love this interview so much. I say we do co-host interviews eventually again.
Yeah, like, I'm so down to do them again. It was so fun.
We'll have to update everyone and each other. But
yes.
Yeah, we're actually recording earlier this time, so I really hope you just have a great rest of your day, Sam.
Thank you. You too, Issa, and Likewise to you all.
Bye.
Bye!